Let me tell you about my 17-year-old brother Caleb. Highly motivated, straight-A student and a loyal friend, but is defined as the boy in the wheelchair. Now let me ask you, why is this? Why is the disability all that we see? Why, in 2025, in a society where young disabled people have always lived, are there still 70% who are chronically lonely? Imagine not having friends to rely on, to text, to always have your back, living in a hurtful cycle of friends who come and go. The physically disabled are hit hardest by life's most challenging circumstances, juggling all their own health needs, all without a friend. This can lead to increased levels of depression and are 3 to 4 times more likely to die by suicide. This is very true for me when my own brother nearly became part of this statistic. We are comfortable with what we know, so we stay away. We treat them differently, when all they want is to feel included, part of a community that really cares. There is only so much money that can go into helping the lonely. What we need is a change of mindset among the people of Northern Ireland. You have the power to change the lives of the 70% of disabled people affected mentally by loneliness. So invite them, talk to them, don't stay away. Change the lives of those who eagerly want to be loved and included by their community. But how can they? With barriers in society affecting them from meeting new people, barriers which the able-bodied do not appreciate, no dropped curb, no working lift, and even taking up disabled parking spaces when they do not need them. In 2025, I should not have to watch my dad carry my brother up the stairs of a cinema, struggle to navigate shop floors, or have to call for help because the disabled bathroom has become inaccessible. In 2025, many disabled people are confined to a wheelchair, but they should not be confined to their homes by having to plan virtually everything they do. 40% experience issues travelling by train, 57% when flying, and finding a wheelchair-accessible taxi is impossible. Having to plan events days, weeks, or even months in advance is a major barrier to social interaction and even their independence. Could you imagine having to rely on others for everything in a society with lack of accessibility, low maintenance, and poor attitudes? You've probably heard the saying, your school days are the best days of your life. But what if you're physically disabled? The Equality Act 2010 states schools mustn't discriminate against a pupil because of their disability. However, too often, pupils' voices are being overlooked and they're given a lack of choice. One guiding principle under the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities is respect for inherent dignity, individual autonomy, including the freedom to make one's own choices. And when this is overlooked, it leads to heightened anxiety and distress, which has been true for my brother and many others, making their school days not the best days of their life. Every part of a physically disabled person's life is made difficult, and finance is no exception. 55% admit to being in debt. They should not be worried about buying food or keeping their house warm because of additional expenses. My mum has 4 kids. 3 can jump on the school bus, but my brother can't. Adding on the many medical appointments, petrol money adds up. Additionally, grants which do not cover the full bill, the astronomical cost of a wheelchair-accessible car. How can we expect the disabled to pay these additional expenses with lack of opportunity? My brother has applied for 20 jobs without success. Disabled people are twice as likely to be unemployed, often because employers find it too difficult, risky, or expensive. Even with government support, a disabled household needs an additional £975 a month to have the same standard of living as a non-disabled household, and I would argue that this is discrimination. In 2025, I ask you, take the pressure off and allow the disabled to focus on their dreams and their future. Society defines them as restricted, lonely, and different, instead of allowing them the freedom to create their own titles. Break this cycle, change your mindset, and if I was in a wheelchair, would I be speaking here today?